So this is just going to be an extremely limited play test of some tercio stuff. I only have a couple of tercio blocks set up back here and a couple of linear formations and some cannons. I don't have any cavalry on the table, so I am missing one pretty big aspect of this. But I really wanted to see how these tercios stood up against just straight up linear formations and some cannons, because that's really, when you kind of read up on them, that's really the downfall. So the tercios were, depending upon, I guess, what you read or how you interpret things or what have you, they kind of had two real functions here. So you had this big block of pike, which was either like a phalanx or a square. I'm treating them as a square. They were there for one of two reasons. One was to protect these gunners, and I'm just using these little blank bases. I don't really dig out too many miniatures for this. So this inner square here is basically just a square of pike, and then we have some gunners on the sides. So the pike was there either to protect the gunners if they were charged by cavalry, or to say if the enemy sustained enough damage, then the pikes would move in for the kill. So we're going to see how this goes. Again, extremely limited play test here. I really just want to see how the tercios stand up to these line formations and some cannons. So real quick before I start turn one, I have already issued orders here. So if you haven't seen the other tercio video I did, just a real quick overview. We're treating the individual components within the tercio as individual units. So even though this is a tercio formation, we're not treating it as one formation as far as orders are concerned and carrying out whatever it's doing. So your square here is one unit, and then your four gunners, these are all individual units as well, so they all receive an individual order. All the gunners here, I'm just using smoothbore muskets. The cannon are smoothbore cannon. I'm kind of treating them like early smoothbore cannon, so not Civil War era. Actually, I'm using Civil War soldiers here. I'm just kind of throwing a bunch of proxy troops on the table. But these aren't quite as effective as the cannons you might see in the Civil War era, the American Civil War era, I should say. So anyway, we have our orders issued. I'm just going to go ahead and roll initiative. I'm just going to use 2d10 for each side. I'm going to use black for the tercios and the red for the line. And they both got one success, but the tercios did get one. They get the higher individual roll there with a 9. All right, so they're going to go first. So one of the downsides here of the tercio, it is an extremely cumbersome unit to move. So we're just going to go ahead and flip this order first. That's second missiles. Most of the stuff on here is going to have second missiles, because when you're dealing with these guns, and just to represent the slow rate of fire, we are using second missiles. So we're flipping that order. And right now, we are in the review orders and movement phase. So I'm flipping the order. I'm not going to move that unit. They're not shooting you because we're not in combat. But if I wanted to move them, they would move now, but the second missiles order does prevent movement. So we'll flip these guys back over here. And again, you're not really going to see a whole lot of action here. And so I gave the square march order, so they could move if they want to, but they're not interested in moving. And again, at the moment they're really there more in a support capacity. So they've all been flipped over, and these units back here aren't really going to do anything either. I could have just left them off the table completely, maybe sped things up a little bit. That's okay. All right, we don't have any hand combat. We don't have any first missiles. No one with march orders is shooting. So we're going to go on to the last phase of combat, which is second missiles. They do get to go first. I think I put them within range. No, I did not. Okay, I messed that up. All right, that's fine. So cannons are going to go ahead and shoot, though. So basically, none of these formations here can shoot, but the cannons can shoot. And these early ones with round shot have a short range of 35, but they do have a long range with round shot of 100. Actually, they can use canister shot if they wanted to, but we're going to go ahead and use round shot here. So short range of 35. So the way we do cannons here is you basically have a line, and it's going to go through basically every unit that goes through, or every base, I should say, that this line goes through is subject to an attack. So you can kind of see right off why cannons are pretty effective against these bigger units, whether they're squares or phalanxes or tercios, anything. Anytime you have these units all kind of packed in like this, they're going to be pretty susceptible to cannons. So short range. So we're basically going to get these two squares are going to be hit at short range. And at short range, I'm getting a bonus die to hit. So I'm rolling 4d10. And at this point in warfare, there is really virtually very little armor being worn. Your pikemen may have been wearing some armor, but it seems like it was pretty common for them to maybe discard that armor. I will give them a little bit, but against cannon fire, it doesn't matter at all. Their armor obviously isn't going to stop a cannonball. All right, so normally I roll 3 dice, but at short range, I'm getting a bonus dice, so I'm rolling 4. And again, the armor piercing completely negates whatever armor, so I really only need 2s to hit. So I'm going to roll for that unit first. That's going to be 3 hits. That means your casualty check here is an 8, so the casualty check is 5 plus the number of successes I got when I hit. Yep, I'm sorry. So I need an 8. That is a failure. That is a 6 and a 7. It's not a kill though. It's just a break token. So I'm going to put that there. I did hit. So if when I rolled to attack, if I did achieve at least 1 success, then even if I didn't actually damage that unit, the ball continues moving forward. So it's going to continue moving forward, and it's going to strike that unit. And we're still at short range. Well, there's a 10, and a 10 is an automatic break token. And I got 4 successes overall, so they need a 9 on their casualty check. They failed with a 4 and a 2. If you fail a casualty check and you roll equal to or less, if at least one of the dice is equal to or less than the weapon's kill number, then that is a kill. So I roll a 2 and a 4, and the cannon's kill number is a 4. So that particular unit is gone. Now the ball does continue moving forward though, and let's see, it's gonna get that one and that one. But we're at long range for those two, so we're just rolling 3 dice. That's 3 more successes, so they need an 8, and they passed. There's a 9. Hey, good job for them. And the last one, 3 more successes and a failure. Oh, and it's a kill. I need an 8, and I roll a 7 and a 3, so that's actually a kill. So that gun unit back there, those arquebusiers are gone. And that was just the first cannon. We do have another cannon here. So they're basically going to repeat. Actually, we're going to go right down here. So let's do it this way. Let's see. All right, so we're going to get that unit and that unit short range. That's going to be 4 successes, so they need a 9 on their, and there's an 8 and a 1. So again, another kill. So we're kind of annihilating these tercios already. Got one more. That's 4 successes, so I need a 9. And I rolled a 1, which is a kill, but he also rolled a 9, so he actually passed his damage check. And to continue moving forward, we're going to get that stand of pike and that stand of gunners, but we're at long range now. Still 3 successes. So I need an 8, and there's an 8. And that last gunner, well, there's a 10, so it's an automatic break. And I'm putting the break tokens on bases, but they belong to the whole unit. So it doesn't belong to that base, it belongs to that entire unit there. I've got 2 overall successes of it, so he needs a 7. And there's a 9, so he passed. So already we saw that the cannons, how effective they are. I mean, we lost 3 bases there, two gunners and 1 pike, simply because of that ball continuing to move forward the way it did. All right, that's it for 1. Turn 1, I should say. Let's go on to turn 2. I did forget one thing here. I started getting ready for turn 2 and realized I forgot to do something. So they have a chance to rally off those break tokens at the end of the turn. So it's 2 dice, and for every success being 6 or more, they get to remove 1. So here's theirs, 2 4s, so that's not, they didn't remove it. Here's theirs, and 2 8s, so they actually removed theirs. All right, now we can end turn 2. All right, turn 2, I'm gonna roll initiative, and the line got two successes. The tercio only got 1, so the line goes first. So they're going to flip over their first order, which is going to be second missiles on the cannon. They don't move. Second missiles here, they don't move. Second missiles, they don't move. Second missiles here, they don't move. March. All right, so I did give them march orders, so we're going to actually move them up. I'm not going to move them too far, I don't think. We can pre-measure. So I'm actually going to move them back just a little bit. So I'm trying not to get too far and block those cannons. There. March for them. We're going to move up. We're going to go that's it for the line. I'm just going to go ahead and flip the rest of them. Now, if I wanted to, I could move one of them up there to kind of fill that gap. I'm not really going to worry about it. All right. They were given march orders. So we're going into hand or combat now, I should say. No one has first missiles. They have march orders, which means they cannot shoot yet. There's no hand combat, so we're going into second missiles. They get activated first, so they shoot first. So cannons are going to go again. Why not? So here is my path, and it's going to get. Let me go this way. It's going to get these 2 at short and these 2 at long. It's going to be 4 successes, so he needs a 9. And he failed. Wasn't a kill though. 4 successes. He needs another 9. There's a failure, and it's a kill, so he actually goes away. long range. 3 successes. And another kill. Rolled 2 2s. I'm kind of rolling pretty bad also here. And there's a break token. And 2 successes, so it needs a 7. And there's a 7. It's good things I rolled a 1 there. Jeez. So that square is getting kind of beat up. Okay, so that is them. They get activated. They can actually shoot now. They are in long range, so they're going to shoot at this line. So basically, so each of these squares or bases attacks individually. So got 3. You only need 2s to hit. There's 3 successes, so he needs an 8. There's a 9. That's a pass. He shoots. And there's a break token, because I did roll a 10. And I got 2 successes, so I need a 7. There's a 9. He's going to shoot. 2 successes, so I need a 7. And there's a 6, so it's a failure, and a 2. So that is actually a kill there. Okay. We allow them to take whatever one off. That's fine. Alright, so that's it for them. We go back to the line. We have our other cannon, and we're going to continue pounding on this tercio here. I mean, why not? Let's see, who's it going to hit? We'll go. Actually, we're just going to go straight down that line, and we're just going to hit those gunners there. And double check the range. So short range and long range. So here's 4 dice, 3 successes, so he needs an 8. There's a 10. Long range, 2 successes, so I need a 7. And he passed that too, so that cannon really didn't do anything that time. And that's it. Everyone else is out of range. So let's try to rally off these break tokens. There's them. There's a 7, so they rally that off. Here, got rid of that. And the square did not get rid of any of those. Roll a 3 and a 1, so they have 2 tokens. They didn't get rid of either one of those. All right, that's it for turn 2. We're going to turn 3. Turn 3. I don't really have a set number of turns I'm going to do here just until I feel comfortable. All right, initiative, line, 1 success, tercio, 1 success. The tercio did have the higher roll with a 9, so they go first. They will activate this unit, second missiles, which means they don't move. Yep, second missiles, I did do that right, okay. They don't move. And I gave them march, so they're actually going to go ahead and move up a little bit. And they are out of threat range, so I can just kind of move here. If you're not within threat range of an enemy, we kind of give you a little more freewheeling movement just to kind of keep the game moving along at a little quicker pace. Second missiles, so they don't move. Second missiles, they don't move. Second missiles, and march, so we're going to move them up. Over here, march, and I'm actually going to move them in a little bit just to kind of consolidate that square a bit. Let's see, they have no one else. I'm just going to go and do the rest of them, the rest of this tercio over here. All right, so that's it for review orders and movement. We're going to go on to combat. No one with first missiles. No one with march. We have no hand. Second missiles. Okay, so they go first, and so they didn't move, and they didn't move. So we're kind of repeating the same as last turn. So 3 over here. That's 3 successes. So they need an 8. There's a 6 and a 5. That's a break token. Ooh, there's 2 10s. Now the number of 10s here doesn't matter. If I roll, 1 10 or 2 10s or 3 10s, it's still just 1 break token. But I did get 3 overall successes, so he needs an 8 and a 9. So he passed. And there's another 10. Ooh, they're kind of piling it on here. And 3 overall successes. I need an 8, and there's a 2, so that's a kill. So I failed. I failed. I needed an 8, I rolled a 7 and a 2, so that's a kill. Alright, so that's it for them. They are going to shoot back now. Let's see who is in range. Not all of these are actually going to be within range. Oh, helps me using the right number here. Let's see. Yeah, actually, they may all be within range. Yes, they are just barely so. Okay, they are all within range. Just barely so. But so I will say these 2 against that one, these 2 against that one, and these 2 against that one. But they are all at long range. So we're just going to start here. That's 3 successes. So he needs an 8. There's a failure. Here, there's 3 more successes. So he needs an 8. That's another failure. Roll 2 7s. That's what we put here. Here, 3 successes, or 3. Rolling 3 dice, but I did get 3 successes: a 2, a 4, and a 9. So he needs an 8. That's another failure with a 6 and a 7. No kills, but lots of failures. Here, 2 successes that time. So I need a 7, and there's an 8. So that's a pass. He passed. Finally, someone passed. Here, 3 successes. So I need an 8. And there's a 9, and last one. Okay, there's a 10. That's important here. We'll talk about this in a few minutes. But I only got 1 success, though, just a 10. So he needs a 6, and he failed with a 2 and a 3. That's going to be a kill. So one of those is gone. So now that became even more important. So that's done. They don't have anyone else, I don't believe. Let me double check over here. Where it's supposed to be. No, they are just out of range by about 3 or 4 millimeters. So next movement, they're definitely going to be within range. So they have no one else who can shoot. So it's really just the cannons that are left. And we have a threat coming up here, so we're just going to go ahead and shoot this cannon. It's going to hit that. Now we don't have a nice line anymore of multiple bases, so all I'm really targeting is that single base, but it is a short range. Pretty poor roll. We got 2 1s in there. It's only 2 successes, and he passed. Next cannon. Let's see if we can annihilate some more of these guys. There. So he's going to shoot through there. So he's going to hit these 2 at short range and that one at long range. So that's 4 successes. So he needs a 9. And there's a 9. 3 successes, so I need an 8. And there's a 10. Well, last one. 3 successes, so I need an 8. There's a 6 and a 3, so that is a kill. Oops, I'll take that one off. All right, so that is going to be the end, or getting. Let's carry out the end of turn actions, I should say. So we're going to try to rally some break tokens off here. So this unit has 3, so they can't get rid of all of them. But they got rid of none. I rolled 2 4s. We'll do this unit. They got rid of 1. Now these guys definitely need to get rid of some. They have 4. You can only have break points up to your, or break tokens up to your presence. They have a total presence of 2 because they only have 2 bases there of infantry. Each base of infantry gives you a presence of 1. This unit, short of it is, they only have a presence of 2, so they need to get rid of 2 of these, or they're going to risk leaving the field. So here's my roll. A 9 and a 7, so 2 successes, so they get rid of 2. That's good. So they are hanging on, but just barely so. All right, that's gonna be for turn 3. Let's go on to turn 4. All right, we're gonna start turn 4, have our orders issued. Here's initiative, 2 successes for the tercio, no successes for the lines. The tercio activates first. Second missiles, they don't move. Second missiles. Gave them a second missile, so they're going to try to let loose some volley into there. Second missiles. March. They do need to move up a little bit more here. This tercio has not been, sorry, I didn't mean to do that, actually. We're going to move them, yeah, about right there. So they're just actually going to swing around that way. Sorry, that way they can actually do some engagement there. Let's see, March, second missiles. March, we're going to move them a little bit here. The rest of these. March. You know, I'm really not sure in an actual situation how likely it would be that these units would be moving. You know, these because in reality there would be other threats on the field. I am kind of playing in a little compressed space. I just don't have to worry about as much. In reality, there would be more going on than what I have here. All right, so that's it for review orders and movement. We're going to just skip ahead in combat and go right down to second missiles because that's all we're doing. They activate first, and we're just going to go ahead and shoot here. So that's 3. They need 2s to hit. 3 successes, so I need an 8. There's an 8. Next one. 3 successes, but just barely so. And there's another kill. Wow, they're actually getting beat up a little bit more than what I expected. They're going to go ahead and shoot back. So we got 2 here. Actually, we're going to do 3 of them here and then 2 at that one. Now there's a break token and 3 successes. That's a pass, rather. There's a 9. Next one, 3 successes, so I need an 8. There's a failure, so that's another break token. You can see they're starting to get the break tokens piled back on again. There's 3 more successes. So I need 8, and that's a failure. But at long range, it's not a kill. So now they're really. I'll explain them when we finish this up, and I'll explain it. There's another break token. We've got 8, There's a 10, and the last one here. 3 successes, so I need another 8, and another break token. So I think here is maybe kind of where we're seeing that concentrated firepower. Of course, they are shooting a smaller unit at this point. That definitely helps. Which is kind of the point. I mean, this is really the whole point in doing this, is that towards the end of this pike and shot area, we did start seeing these like extended, linear formations that could just outshoot the smaller gunner units, so of the tercios. So it's kind of part of the point here. I mean, I think we're seeing kind of what we expected to see to a degree. This unit's in real trouble because, I mean, they only have a presence of 2, and now they have 7 break tokens, 7. So they can't possibly get rid of enough. So at the end of this turn, they are either falling back or just fleeing the battle altogether. I mean, they can't. There's nothing you can do about it at this point. All right, let's see. I'll activate them, or shoot with them rather. Definitely in range, but we are at long range. So there's a break token and 3 overall hits, so I need an 8. And there's a kill. A 1 and a 2. So that's not good. Next, that is 3 more hits. And there's an 8. Okay, so they passed that one at least. Jeez, okay. All right, that's it for them. Next up, we'll do these. Cannons. And there's not. Kind of running out of, trying to get one like an enfilade or somewhat of an enfilade. I'm kind of running out of options here. But we're just going to go ahead and shoot here, and that is short range. So it's 4 dice. There's a break token, and we got 4 hits. That's a 9 on the casualty check, and that's a failure. 2 5s. Not a kill, but failures. Do we have anyone else? Oh, yep, they can all shoot. And that might be, no, that's going to be them all. That's still long range. Yeah. Short range of these smoothbore muskets is extremely short. It's only 5 centimeters. So, attacking here, shooting this unit is shooting this unit. There's a break token and 2 successes, so I need a 7. There's a 10. Next, 3 successes, so I need an 8. There's a failure. And last one, 3 successes, and that is a kill. And they have a cannon left. They can still get a nice, let's see, yep, okay, so we're gonna do short and then long. And I mean, it's kind of pointless trying to pour more on that unit. It may be smarter to go for this one, but yeah, so there's more break tokens. I got some criticals in there. And there's another failure. Next, there's a break token and 4 successes. That is it's a kill. Yep, failed that and a kill. So they are going away. And the last unit there, that's going to be long range. 2 successes, and that's a pass with an 8. So that cannon is done. I think that's it for combat. Yeah. All right, so let's wrap up the turn by trying to rally some of these points off. Break points. We'll do them. Got rid of 1. Roll for them. Did not get rid of theirs. I rolled 2 1s. 2 9s. Okay, there are both of theirs. 2 of theirs. one. Got rid of one. And again, these guys, we're going to roll because right now they're either going to fall back or route. But if they fall back, if we can get rid of enough of those before they actually just get off the table, then they could conceivably come back. So we're gonna, even though they have a lot of break tokens, we're gonna go ahead and carry it out as normal. So they got rid of one. And so now, since they still have more break tokens than they have presence, they make a command check. If they pass this check, then they simply fall back. If they fail, then they route from the table, from the battle completely. So command check, only need one of these to be a 6 to pass. There's a 6 and a 7, so they both pass. So they basically fall back here, and that's going to be at their charge pace, so 15 centimeters. And I'm just going to slide them over here, and all those break tokens go with them. Now, we did have a friendly unit. Actually, that will be 2 friendly units that have, we'll say those don't. If a friendly unit is within 10 centimeters and has line of sight to a friendly unit that falls back or retreats, they have to make a command check. If they fail, they get a couple more break tokens. They had line of sight definitely, so we'll check for them. They pass, there's a 6, so they're fine. And we're going to say they did not have line of sight, because line of sight is really going to be like that direction, so they were just out of it. All right, so that's going to be into turn 4. We're going to turn 5. I might do one or two more turns. Start turn 5. I've already issued orders, and I'm going to go ahead and treat these two as separate units at this point. I could continue to treat them as one if I wanted to, because it's easy enough to determine that it is one unit. Though I think with the distance between the two, it's probably better just to go and treat them as distinct units. So let's roll initiative. 2 successes, no successes for the tercios, so the lines go first. Second missiles, and I understand no one's in range. I don't want to move them forward at this point. They're basically want to kind of sit back and see if we can rally off some of those break tokens, give them a chance to recover, basically. We're going to continue marching over here. Moving up, basically. Second missiles, second missiles, second missiles. March, I did not flip there for some reason. Second missiles. This unit does not get a token. If you have a unit that at the beginning of the turn has more break points than it does presence, they actually don't get an order, because they're in the process of just trying to get out of dodge. They're going to move up a bit. Oops, I just don't hit that unit. Fix that. And just flip all theirs now. All right. Again, we have no first missiles, no hand combat, no march orders, shooting. So we're just going to go right into second missiles. They get activated first. No one's within range. Yeah, they're just barely out of range still. They are, so they're not really doing anything. So the cannons are going to go ahead and shoot. That cannon there, and unfortunately it's going to hit that poor unit back there still. They're just a glutton for punishment, and they're both at short range. Even trying to leave the battle, they're still getting shot. 4 dice on them. That's 4 hits, so a 9. There's a 10, so they passed. 4 successes, so I get a 9. And there's a failure, it's a 6 and a 3, so that's actually going to be a kill. So they may not make it off the battlefield. Okay, we'll activate here. They're going to shoot. You're going to shoot there. So we've got three hits. Now you need an 8, and there's a 9 and an 8. 3 hits. And so you need an 8, and there's an 8. So completely ineffective that time. And that's going to go ahead and shoot back. 3 hits. There's a 10. 2 hits. And that's a failure. At long range, that is not a kill, it's just another break token. And let's see. I messed up over there. They should have second missiles. I'm going to cheat. If it was a real game, I forgot to get them in order for some reason. I don't know what I did with it. You actually wouldn't be able to shoot, but I'm cheating, so it's okay. So these 3 are going to shoot here. We are still at long range, just barely so. There's a break token though. 3 hits, I need an 8. There's a 10. There's another break token. 3 hits. And that is a failure and a kill. So they're actually getting beat down pretty good. There's another break token, holy cow. 3 hits. And that's another failure, but it's not a kill. So they're in some problem. They're in trouble over here, most definitely so. So I'm gonna go ahead and activate them back now. So they're gonna go ahead and shoot. So they're shooting here. That's 3 hits. There's a 10. There's a break token. And 3 hits. So I need an 8. There's a 10. And the last one. There's another 10. And 3 hits. And that's a failure. Got long range, it's not a kill. So they're shooting each other up pretty good over there, actually. Let's see. No one else is shooting for the tercios. We just have this one cannon left. And we got a little bit of an, no, not an inflator. It's not an inflate. I keep using that word wrongly. They can line up a couple of units here. So that's going to be short range. That's going to be long range. And that's a leany, 2 hits. That's a pass. And then long range. 3 hits. And that's a pass. So not quite as effective that time. So you can see the cannons I mean, they decimated over here pretty well, but as their targets decrease, they aren't quite as effective, obviously. That is going to be that's it for combat. So let's go on to the in turn. Let's try to rally off some stuff. Start there. Get rid of 1. And we'll do here. I got rid of theirs. All right, so they have to get rid of 1 here. They have a total presence of 3, and they have 4 break tokens. And they get rid of none. Wow. Okay, so they're either falling back or retreating, I should say, or routing. They fail. There's 2 2s, so they rout from the table completely. So they did not stand up to that very well. And let's continue. Got rid of theirs. Continue to see what this unit does. 2 10s, wow. So they actually get rid of 2, but they're still over the break point. So they roll to see if they continue retreating or to see if they just run. And there's a 2 and a 5, so they flee. And we've got actually 2 friendly units that have line of sight. So let's see if they get anything. They pass. Let's check for them. They pass, so they're okay. If they fail, they just get 2 break tokens. Come back, let's check for them. They don't get rid of any. Let's check for them. They get rid of 1. So they're not in good shape, but certainly better than their enemy over there, who is now running away. All right, that's it. It's 5. Let's go on to turn 6. Turn 6. This will probably be the last turn here. I think I've seen a lot of what I wanted to see. Initiative. 1 success, no successes, so tercio X. First, we'll flip there, march. They're going to continue moving forward a bit. March. They are actually going to move back a little bit. Change formation. They're going to try to change their formation completely because that square obviously isn't going to do anything at this point. They pass. They're basically going to assume more of a just traditional phalanx formation. Close, anyway. We do have little phalanx tokens I could put on there, but I pretty much, I think I remember what that is. Second missiles, second missiles, second missiles. March. We're just going to move that way a little bit. Second missiles. March, and they're just going to swing up a little bit that way. March. They put themselves in a little, whoops, keep doing that, a little better position to shoot. And I'm just going to flip the rest of them. These guys are in trouble, basically. About to get shot up pretty well. All right, let's skip ahead in combat. And second missile is really the only one they have shooting is this unit, so they're just going to shoot here. There's a break token. We got 3 hits. That's a failure. And next, 3 hits. Is another failure, and that's a kill because there's a 1. Well, I'm going to activate them, but I'm going to shoot back now. 3 hits, and they passed. Okay. They have no one else you can shoot. So the only ones we have left over here are the cannons. So let's see what we can do over here. Is anyone at short range? No. But we can get, oops, we can get a nice little shot in there. So basically we're going to hit 4 units, or 4 bases I should say, but they're all long range. So here's 3, that's 3 hits, that's a failure. That's a kill, sorry. It was 7 and a 4, so that's actually a kill. So I'm going to take that one off. Right here, 3 hits, and that's a pass. Here, break token, and 3 hits, there's a 10, and last. a kill. So that's a unit over there gone. Come back. All right, we have one cannon left. It's kind of a tempting target now that they formed up in the phalanx, or they could try to take care of some of them. This is the more immediate threat, I think. So we're going to shoot here. So he's going to hit here and there. That one's going to be a short range. There's a break token and 3 hits. And that's going to be a failure, not a kill though. But it's doing its purpose, piling up break tokens. And right here, 3 hits and a failure, another break token. All right, so that's the end of the into combat. Let's go ahead and check for break tokens, or try to rally rather. They did not get rid of theirs. They need to get rid of them, and they don't, because they only have a presence of 1. They have 2 break tokens, and they did not get rid of any. So let's see if they retreat or rout, and they rout. They failed that. Wow. Not 100% unexpected, but still a little surprising, a little bit. So they need to get rid of 2, because they have a total presence of 2 and they have 4 break tokens. And they only got rid of 1. So they're either going to rout or retreat. They just retreat. They within 10, they are not. So they're basically going to retreat back here. They saw that because they were within 10 centimeters with line of sight. So let's check to see if they receive and they passed. Okay. See if they can rally off theirs. They do. See if they can rally off. Get rid of 1. And let's check this square back here. They don't, so there stays. Okay, I think that's it for the little play test. So kind of what I did here is I more or less had the cannons focus on 1 tercio, and we can see it's pretty well annihilated. It probably would not last another turn or so. I know that probably the next turn that phalanx is going to start coming in, and so I would really start aiming with the cannons at that phalanx, and the phalanx isn't going to last long against the cannon. I mean, you're probably going to get 3 bases with each shot. On the other hand, over here we had this line go up against that tercio with really no, I would say little cannon support. There a couple I had to take a few shots over there, but nothing like I did over here. And we can see that, as a result, or maybe it's bad luck or what have you, that line did get pretty well annihilated. So I think, without the proper artillery support, which was a big part of taking apart, tearing apart these tercios, was putting those cannons into them. Without the proper artillery support, that tercio actually did hold up pretty well. I do want to do another test, not today, but I do want to do another one with some cavalry, just to see how that's going to affect things. I'll probably clean off my table and use the entire table, and use some cavalry in there. But that's going to be it for this little quick solo play test. Any questions or comments, hit us up in the little comments below. You can find us on Facebook, Ages of Conflict. Be happy to answer any questions or comments you have. Thanks.